Hello, everybody! Welcome back to some Project Infinity. Oh, yeah. So, last episode, we made this pretty good sized base here. It is a dome with a really cool smooth quartz and a cobbled deep slate pattern going on here. Pretty neat. There's a few things that I've done so far. And what I've done is I've went ahead and set up all of my portals here. Got the mining portal, or I've got the end, the nether, and the mining with a little bit of decoration on top of those. It's cool. Another thing, really quickly, so OBS, right? OBS and Minecraft notoriously go head to head in a battle of how many pixels they can show inside of the video. So, what I used to have is I believe it was 65 BPS, kbps. Let me see here, actually. kbps, yeah. So I used to have 6500. I've updated it to 9000 in the hopes that the video looks smoother and everything like that. It doesn't look as grainy, right? Um, Ready. So what I did first is I got all my Allthemodium stuff. I don't know if you've seen that or not. The second thing is this Wyvern chest piece is a little bit buggy at the moment because whenever you put it on, you can see the shield down here. It automatically starts building up. So you can see it's at 5 at the moment. If I take it off, put it back on, it's at 0 again, right? So it doesn't like you to take it off and take it back on, or take it off and put it back on multiple different times, because then it just like redoes the shield, and it's kind of annoying. So we're gonna leave that off for the time being, and I've did a few different things. So the hostile neural network thing, I don't know if I went over it in the previous episode or not, but there's these things called a data module. These things. So the data modules by themselves look like this, the module framework. What you can do is you can make one of these, walk up to a mob and right click it. Once you right click it, it kind of shows you what it is here. And then what you can do is, I figured it out, right? So you got to get yourself a deep learner. This guy. You get yourself a deep learner, and then you right click it, and then you're going to shove that data module in there. And now if you offhand this, or even if you have it in your inventory, you can kill whatever the learner has inside of it, in this case sheep, and it will update your stuff, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm actually going to keep the deep learner on me, right in there. Yeah, actually, no, wait. Boom, there. Right. So that's how I've been getting all kinds of wool. I've got 1,500 wool just from the sheep thing right there. And so what you do is you can put the data module in here, and with some prediction matrix, it's really easy to make. And then it'll spit out either some matrices or whatever they're called, and or you can get a prediction of the mob. You can shove that into a loot fabricator and choose what you want to get. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, so you can get generalized and then ender predictions from all that fun stuff. So it's really cool stuff. It's a really good way to get some energy going, or not energy, resources going. Also made a few alloy smelters really quickly, and I used this for some solarium, and I also used it for a little bit of dark steel. This one I made fortune on my pick, finally. Got a couple of those, got my bed here. Okay, over here, what I did is I upgraded our energy production. You can see the energy production up here. This is the energy production, and we got quite a few windmills. So the windmills are all feeding into this. There's battery right here. I just charged up my jetpack, so I kind of used a little bit of power here. And all is cool. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting into some auto crafting. That's right. I've delayed it long enough. We're going to get into auto crafting. Now, down here is a little bit of a Botania setup. Nothing too crazy here. Alright, here we go. Auto crafting time. Now, in the past, the only thing I've been using is I've been using the molecular assemblers, which it appears there's extended versions of it now, which is really cool. So we need the molecular assemblers. We also need some interfaces. The interfaces are going to be these. And then I could have swore the pattern interface was different than that. I could have swore it was like a different color. Anywho, after that, we're going to need some inscribers. We're going to need these to start with. We will get the extended inscriber after that. We will need some ME dance cables. Let's go ahead and grab the Fluix version of that, wherever it's at. Is it that one? No. ME dance smart Fluix. There it is. After that, we are going to need some acceleration cards. And I believe that is it. Let's look at some solar panels too, because the solar panels are going to be extremely nice. Even getting to that isn't really that bad at the moment. The reason why I want auto crafting is because I want to do all of this. It's going to cost a lot of glass, but I'm fine with that. What I want to do is I want to get up to this, which is generating 65 million FE a tick, and it makes you 4. So that's really cool. Neutronium. And then, what's the other tier? Chaotic, which is that. Draconic, which is easy. Well, it's not easy. We're just going to bookmark that just so we have it later. And then we are all good and going. So, let's go ahead and start. Oh, there is a giant computer thingy from AE, and I don't know how to use it. I think it's that, actually. Yeah, that. I don't know how to work it, really. No, I don't think it's this, actually, because it's got, like, all kinds of... Yeah, I don't think it's that. Quantum Computer Accelerator, is that it? It might be that. I don't know. I actually think it is. I'm not sure. I don't know how to work that. I'll try to figure it out. Like, you can get a giant computer and all that, and it's just way more efficient in the long run. And I don't know how to work it. Anywho, let's go ahead and... Okay. The first thing is we need to get our inscribers, which we have a few. We need to get the inscribers go ahead and automated. Okay. Now, in order to automate this, we are going to need a couple interfaces. Well, one is fine. We're also going to... Ooh, while we're here, we need a pattern terminal. Pattern encoding terminal. And then we need a pattern access terminal. And I believe that is all we need there. Now, yeah, let's get some inscribers going. Okay. Now, inscribers-wise, I kind of want to have my auto-crafting on the outer edge here, which means I'll probably have to move that somewhat soon. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. Actually, I could have it on the inner ring here. That would be really, really cool looking. No, I'll have it on the outer edge. That's fine. I'll have to route a few more cables, but it is what it is. We can have like a temporary setup, like somewhere around here or so. We can go here. It's fine. Okay, so let's do some inscribers like so. I actually don't know the crazy efficient setup that a lot of the Minecraft YouTubers have. So at the moment, we're just going to do something like this. Then we can possibly do that. Actually, no, because if we do them in a line... Let's see here. So if we do this, ooh, hover, that, and then we can do something like that, I would Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's the reverse, right? It's maybe we do something. Whoops. I kind of need that there, eh? Maybe we do something like that. Do that. What you reckon? And then since that's only what, one channel, we could do something like no, because that wouldn't work anyway, would it? No, because it would shove it straight back down, right? Yeah. We're gonna need to set up some basic stuff first. We could have the interface there. Oh, and then we could do something like that. Hey. Okay. Now we should be able to do that. I mean, I wouldn't think it would be anything terrible. Let's get a cable. These. I'm gonna need a few more of those, actually. Oh, I don't have any glass. Might need to set some of those up on a thingy, the factory upgrade eventually, but probably not right now. I also don't have any fluix either. I need to start working towards a fluix seed, which means I'm going to have to get over my fear of auto crafting. It does take 10 million FE though. It also takes some of this crazy junk too. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Let's get some quartz fiber going. That'll work. I need some of this, which means we need charged. And then we need quartz, and then redstone. And then we gotta go down. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Anchor. Travel anchors. Let's make some of those here in a minute. Oh, I ran right past it. Cool. 2 stacks. I ran right past it again. This is why I want the travel anchors. Let's see if I can make the travel anchors right off the bat. Oh, I need a soul binder. Actually, I need an empower. That's insane. What about a staff of traveling? Can I make one of those? No, that's the soul binder. Okay. Alright. We actually might get this the staff of traveling. I don't know. We'll see. So let's go ahead and. Oh, right. Oh my goodness. Alright, we got a few cables here. Now let's go ahead and route those in. Oh, hold on. I had a pop up. There we go. Okay, so whenever it comes down to figuring out where we're going to be routing things, it's probably just going to be a straight line to start with. Coming out of this is probably the best that I got at the moment. Okay, so those should all be online now. Let's go ahead and double check. Device online, 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 and online. Alright, beautiful. Everything's online, so I ain't gotta worry about all of that just yet. let's get... Okay. Let's get things rolling here. So let's go ahead and do this one as silicon. This one's going to be calculation. That one's going to be engineering. That one's going to be logic. And then we're going to have just your regular one on the back end there. Let's grab a couple acceleration cards. I've only got 6, and it is what it is. What? So boom, 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 and then we'll double that one. Okay, now that they're all set up like that, what we need to get into rolling now is the pattern encoding terminal, which means we need an engineering processor. So let's grab a stack of that, and let's get some gold. And then let's get a stack of diamonds, and then let's get some Certus quartz. And then we can get everything kind of rolling here. Now, what I do want to do is I want to set these up prior, right? So automation can access from any slot, from any site. Input slots cannot be extracted from. That's nice, because the input slots, which would be these, which is great, right? So we're going to take that out for the time being. Top and bottom slots can be extracted from. Okay, we don't want that. Yeah, we'll leave it at input cannot be extracted, because if we clicked it, then that would disappear, right? Produced items will not be auto-exported. Produced items will be auto-exported through any extraction side. Okay, yeah, that'll work, because the only extraction side for that one would be straight down. So let's go ahead and check mark all of those. Change all these down to 1. Or 4 is fine. Actually, let's do stack. So let's go check, leave it at stack, check, and check. Everybody happy? Everybody's happy. Okay, you are that. You are silicon. You are diamond. Your logic. And then this one will be determined later. See, they're automatically being pulled from, which is beautiful news. Processor, right? Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, logic. You can see there it's got 5, now it's got 6, so that's logic. Engineering is there. Circuits, what they're called. Yep. Nice. All of those going up. Beautiful. And then we got silicon. That's going up as well. Silicon's going up quite a bit quicker. Excuse me. Understandable, because it's got the acceleration cards in it. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's go ahead and get things rolling here. Righty. Next thing we might want to go ahead and get into would be making this here pattern encoding terminal, which means we can probably start looking at a few other different things here, right? We will need another pattern provider. That's what it's called. Yeah, so we want the pattern provider over the other stuff. Definitely. Over the interface. The interface is great for interfacing stuff, but the pattern provider itself is what we're going to be replacing it with, for sure. It's just a lot more easier to deal with and all that fun junk. I think they pretty much do the same thing, but the pattern provider would be a lot better. That's just what I'm used to anyway. I think we're waiting on everything to get done first before we do anything else. We could... Let's see here. Yeah, we can probably go ahead and start getting things rolling here. So we need some engineering. Looks like we need another terminal, which means we need formulation cores, which is logic. Let's go ahead and get circuits. Let's get our logic circuits going. Then we can roll from there. Righty. The cool thing about the interface is it kind of acts like an import and export-ish kind of thing. And yeah, it's just pretty handy. Alright, so we got annihilation cores, let's get formation cores, and then let's get the pattern encoding terminal first, which means we need a crafting terminal. That's kind of crazy. Well, we got 2 terminals, which means we can make the encoding one as soon as we're done with calculation stuff. So, get some calculation going. That should be nearly done. It's not, so we're going to interrupt the process. That way we can get some of this rolling here. Okay, crafting terminal for that. Do we need a crafting terminal for this? No, we need a illuminated panel, which is that. Boom. I missed some more glass. I'll have a glass set up one of these days. I swear it. Okay, illuminated panel. And then we need this one, which is engineering. Why don't I have engineering? Let's do the access one then, which is also engineering. But I need to make the thingy first. Which one is that? Annihilation, which means I need formation now, which means I'm missing fluix dust. Let's get a crusher, yeah? I do have a crusher. I don't know why I don't have it set up then. Let's go ahead and throw some in there. Actually, I have some fluix dust in there from before. Give me some formation cores. And we can make the pattern provider now. Might want to go ahead and make another one just for fun, because we're going to need it. And then we can get rid of the inscribers. We're not going to need them just yet. Pattern access terminal. We're waiting on engineering. So we can throw some engineering in there really quickly. I'm only going to throw 11 in there, because that's how much printed silicon we got left in there. You hush. Thank you. Okay, we got a few engineering, which means we probably should be able to make the pattern access terminal. And then we can now make the pattern encoding terminal, which means we have another terminal left over. Pattern encoding is fine. And now we have the pattern provider. Let's go ahead and swap those out before I forget to. So we're going to scooch on down here. What we're going to do is we're going to do that, reactivate, get rid of that. Actually, do we just leave it? What's the difference between these two? Okay, yeah, so these are for the patterns, yeah, okay. Yeah, we will have to get rid of that then. Cool. Okay, now I got an interface to play with. Let's throw the interface away. Let's go ahead and get these on the ball. So I probably want them here. Let's get some cables, get some facades. And let's get an anchor. Let's get a cable anchor. The reason why I want a cable anchor is to not make sure, well, is to make sure this cable doesn't connect to those and possibly do something bad or weird or both. Okay, throw all that back in there, and then we can throw this and that down. Alright, beautiful. So now this is the money slot right here to where we're going to need that. And then this one is to see all of the inscribers. So now we're only seeing one inscriber at the moment, which is probably, I don't know which one it would be. It'd probably be the one on top if I had to guess. So let's get rid of that and let's see if that's true. Yep. Okay, okie dokie. Now I can't just do this, right? I don't think I can. No, yeah, I can't. Or maybe it's got to be like positioned weird, I guess. I don't know. Or what if I threw a cable on there? Does that work? No, it doesn't. Okay. So the pattern provider has to be stuck on whatever I'm wanting, right? So with that in mind, what we could do is we could do the same thing that I was saying, but now we can layer it down, right? Let's start with... Okie dokie. We can probably go along that way. So that would be... so we'll need one here, one here, one here. I can't count, right? There we go, there we go. And there we go. So we just need 4 more pattern providers, and then we will be off to the races. Pattern provider, which means we need 4 of these. So 2, 4. That's annihilation. Let's get some formation going. And then we should be able to make 4. Missing these. Alright, now we got 4. So we can do bam, 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 bam. Actually, let's pick these up and mark them, because I will lose them. Beautiful. Now, let's grab our cable. Let's go back out. Now, we can just simply move this along all of this. And since this doesn't have any kind of other channels to it, we don't really have to worry about min-maxing the channels or anything. So all of these should be online. So now if we go back over to our pattern access terminal, we should have a lot of inscribers. Cool stuff. Now, in order for us to utilize those, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need a 1K crafting storage, because that's the basic one, and then we're going to need a few co-processing units. So the 1K is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a bunch of different kind of stuff. We only need one of them, thankfully. So let's get one of those. And we can combine them together to make the 1K. Not too difficult there. We're missing logic of all things. So let's get our inscriber presses. And then let's get our acceleration cards. Oh, we're missing logic, right? So let's get our silicon, 19 of it, and then let's get our logic. And then we'll make some of that. So this very first one here, we're just going to shove everything in here. Then we're going to take all of our acceleration cards and put it straight into that. And then we're going to... Can I put acceleration cards in here too? Nope. That's fine. That's all good. So let's get 19 redstone. And then that will be off to the races. Now we do want this to auto extract, which it will auto extract into the pattern provider itself. And then everybody's happy, basically. We'll do 4. Yeah, we'll do 4 on that one. We'll do that, stack, stack. Alright, there we go. Alright, now we're somewhat automated. Now what we need to do is we need to start making some cool stuff. I forgot to put those in there. So anyway, let's get our co-processing unit up and rolling. Just like so. And now what we can do with this is we can pretty much put it right here. Let's get some more cables. There's a very large storm out there right now. Okay, so all you really have to do is just slap the 1K down, and then slap the coprocessor down, and now we're pretty much set up for your basic auto crafting. Right. Here's what we're going to do. We need to firstly make a pattern for a pattern. So the regular pattern will be this one, the blank pattern. And we're going to go ahead and craft 2 of them, like so. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to say this, bam, create it, and we're nice. Okay, now out of all of this, the only thing we're going to need is the quartz glass. So then we'll put another pattern in for that. Cool beans. Cool beans. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some more of this, which means we need more of this. No more glass. Ain't nobody need no glass anyway. Alright, 56 of them is fine. We're going to shove these straight there. Now, we need something called molecular assemblers. Okay. Let's see if we can go ahead and craft molecular assemblers as is. No, because we need more sand. Let's see, which one has the sand? That one. And then pipe. I got pipes on me. What we're going to do is we're going to automate this baby. I like that. And then we'll do this, and then we'll do boom. Of course, it doesn't work because it needs to go in from the top, like so. And then as soon as you're done, you should be able to come out the front. I'm not sure though. Can you come out the front? Nope, it's got to be the bottom. Which means we're going to pick you up. And we're going to do this different. Okay, so you're coming with me. What's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and put that in there. What we're going to do, let's put a piece of sand down. Do we put the sand automation here? Why not? Probably furnace there. Throw the fuel back in there. We'll have that in there, and just so we can figure out what we're doing. We'll do the contents there because it's got to go in through the roof. Item cable, and then we will do auto extract, and you should be filling up. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to throw another little thing here, and then we're going to throw a chest straight down there, and then we're going to set you to extract. And now there should be glass. Beautiful. And that is pretty much all we're doing. Nice, good stuff. Now we have glass automation. So all you gotta do is input sand and boom, there it is. Righty now. Yeah, let's see here. Now, getting back on track. Let's get our inscribers going. Now, we want our circuits. No, we don't. Okay, so let's look here. Circuit. No, process or... Okay, so we're going to want logic, calculation, engineering, and I believe that's it. Okay, so the very first one we're going to want to mess with is going to be engineering. Why not? So we're going to go to this screen here. We're going to press the plus, and all it's going to do is imprint all of that to make the processor. But there's a few things first. We need these. So we're going to go through and we're going to get a little bookmark on all of the raw printed ones, right? So in order to get the printed ones, what you're going to do is you're going to click on it and you're going to go bam. Now, there's a few things here. If we do this the entirety of the time, it's going to want to craft a logic processor, a logic press in like every single time we want it. So we're just going to click, and we're going to get rid of that entirely, and we're going to create the pattern. So pattern for the logic is done, so we'll pair that up. We're going to clear the thing, printed's done, calculation's next. Calculation, we'll get rid of the press, we'll send that through, and now calculation's done, clear it out. Engineering, same thing, get rid of the press, bam, and then that's engineering. Last but not least, silicon, and what we're going to do is we're going to add substitute. What is our... That's fine, we can change it later if we need to. And then boom, and then create, and we're done. So we've got all of these set up. Now what we need to do is we need to get these three. So in order to get these three, you're going to find one of these, and we're just going to say bam, bam, and then everybody is happy. Same thing, inscriber. And now we're done. Alright, now when it comes to figuring out which one of these is which, what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, we're going to say input slots cannot be extracted from. That's exactly what we want to say. Actually, this one is the one that has all of the upgrades in it. So what we're going to say is, yeah, so all of these input ones cannot be extracted from. That's what we want. This one can be silicon. And then underneath it, we're going to slap this pattern in there. And so it knows that, hey, this is going to be the one for silicon. This one is going to be engineering. Right? Yeah, this one's going to be engineering. So then we're going to throw this in there. This one is going to be calculation, so we're going to throw that in there. And this one is going to be logic, so we'll throw that in there. This one is going to craft all of the finished product, so this is going to take all three. Now, I am only accepting stacks of 4 at the moment, just so this thing doesn't get clogged up, all that fun stuff, and it might just do its own stuff. Now, if we come back over here to the pattern access terminal, we can see everything is sorted out how it would, pretty much be. And then we have these two. So now what we can do is we can do a little bit of a dry run processor. Now if we look at processor, you can see there's a little plus at the top. If we middle click, we can select an amount to craft. Right now we're going to go backwards. We're going to say there's 8 engineering processors. We're going to request 2. Now whenever we select that, we're going to see everything that we're going to need to craft all that. It's going to take 2 silicon, 2 redstone. It's going to take the silicon and make 2 of those. We've already got the printed circuits. What we're going to do is we're going to click start. Now whenever they're starting, we can watch it here. We have 8 total for now. Now we have 9. And now we have 10. We have done our very first auto crafting. Love that. How far are we going in here? 37 minutes, not terrible. Righty. Now, we need to start getting some things here. In order to craft stuff, we're going to need some molecular assemblers, which means we're also going to need some more pattern interfaces here, pattern providers. So let's go ahead and get a few things ready and set up. We're going to do one pattern provider, which means we need an annihilation information cores, of course. Annihilation and formation cores never cease to be annoying. So we're going to do one pattern provider. We're going to do 4 molecular assemblers. Which means, how many can we make? 1. Let's make 2 of those. 2 of those. Alright, we have 4 of those. Now, let's grab some cable. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to extend outwards 1. We're going to break that torch because it's in the way. We're going to fly here. Okay, and then we'll do pattern provider here. And then we will do our molecular assemblers on either side here. Just like so. Now all of these should say device online. These do not take channels. This does. Now, since this is something that's going to be crafting and stuff, we can throw these in there. Alrighty. Now, we come in here, we can see molecular assembly. That's what it's got. Now, we're going to automate the annihilation of formation cores because they are annoying. So annihilation is first. and then a formation is next. So now, whenever you go to AutoCraft stuff, if you go to click this and you see something's highlighted blue like that, that means that is already craftable, which is very nice. Now, instead of going all the way back to the pattern provider for the molecular assemblers, I could just simply throw them in there and be done with it. Cool beans. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the... what do we want to try first? Let's get a pattern provider automated. So the pattern provider needs a few things, right? First thing it needs is wood, which it's not going to be using that. It's going to be using this. And then we're going to allow substitutions. Substitutions means that it can combine any plank regardless of the type and still create a crafting table. Cool beans, right? Now we're going to go ahead and remove that again for future, and then we're just going to create our normal good stuff. Now we have the chance to autocraft that. Yeah, buddy. Let's probably get into the Allthemodium stuff while we're here. Do I have... I've got enough Allthemodium to do it. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I wanted to get Allthemodium going. Okay, and let's get some boots. Doesn't matter which ones they are, as long as they're netherite. Okie doke. In order to get Allthemodium stuff, which we're going to do is we're going to need a Allthemodium upgrade, which I have found. Oh, maybe not. Uh-oh. No, I did make it. I thought so. Okay. Oh, Allthemodium. Grab some of those. Righty. And that should be all we need. Let's grab our smithing table. Throw it there for no reason. And then let's get some Allthemodium armor. Allthemodium armor should be unbreakable. Does not look like it is, actually. But we're going to get it anyway. And we look pretty snazzy now. Cool beans. Let's throw our free runners on. Let's keep our boots there for no reason. Alrighty. Now we look pretty snazzy. What else do we want to do? Extended inscriber, maybe? Nah, we don't need that. Ooh, acceleration cards. So in order to make acceleration cards, there's a few things you need. The first thing what we're going to do is we're going to make a pattern of the acceleration card itself. And then we're going to make a pattern for the advanced card. The advanced card is just like that, easy peasy lemon greasy, right? Now, in order to get Fluix, there could be another thing. Alloyer is a cool one. Another thing would be reaction chamber, but we need something more sustainable, which means the seed. So the seed itself would mean some star metal dust, some nether quartz seeds and certus seeds, along with a bunch of blocks. Let's see if we can actually get that going here. We need the crafting core, and we need some pedestals. This means we need black iron, which is, okay, HDPE along with compressed slates, which is blood magic. Lovely. Or we could go through the Enderium route, which is the Empowerer, which is a void crystal, which is that. That's not bad. And then Enderium, which is this, which is diamond and ender pearl and lead, which is not bad. And then we can do the blank runes, which means we will have to get into some blood magic, because I don't know what I'm doing. That would make that. The elite component would be luminescence, which isn't bad at all. Black iron slate. It just needs a lot of black iron, basically. That's what I'm looking at here. And then the pedestals would mean a lot more black iron. Can I make... Is there like a black iron seed? That would be spectacular if there was. Apparently not. Which means we need an ender crafter, which means we need end ingots, which isn't terrible at all. Okay, alright, you know what? We ain't making the fluid seed for now. So, is what it is. And then we'll go here, and then boom, and boom. So now, what we want to ideally do is fill the rest of these out with acceleration cards. So we need 2 there. That would be 6 total, 10, 14, along with these, which would be 5 each, 5 to 20, 34. We need 34 of them. So let's see if we can craft some acceleration card. Let's see if we can do 34 of them. It says we can, so we're going to let it loose, and we're going to wait. Look how fast it's crafting. We got 34 acceleration cards that quick. Look at that. Alright, so we're going to shift right click all of these. We're going to shift right click all of these as well. And we're done. Everything is fully operational. Let's see how much power we're drawing. Because all of that was probably pretty big there. Luckily it doesn't count the things, which is nice. We're draining 421 FE a tick. So cool beans. Righty. Let's see here. What do we want to do now? Now, do we have the molecular assembler ready for... Yeah, no, we don't. Let's go ahead and put that then. So this, and bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Boom. Righty. Wyvern solar panels. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up for the future, huh? So for the Wyvern solar panels, we need the solar panel 8, which means we need the 7, which means we need the 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Which means we need the mirrors. Yeah, okay. Now, this is pretty obvious in the state that we're going to need more of what we got going here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a giant array of these molecular assemblers. And for that, we're going to utilize the entirety of our network of cool stuff, right? Now, let's go here, and I have these made for a reason, which means we're going to need these, these. So let's go ahead and make as many of those as possible. So now we have the Fluix covered cables, and we can throw these in here to make the dense covered cables. And after that, we can throw them in there and make some smart cables. Now, I've only got 5 smart cables for the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to make these relatively close to this setup here. Excuse me. Did I do that the wrong way, or did I do that right way? No, I did it the right way. Okay. Let's go down here. We're actually going to make the first array here down off of this block here. Right? So what I want to do? Yeah, it is. Okay. Alrighty. So now we got our first dense cable down. What we're going to do is we're going to get some pattern providers. So the pattern providers we need, we're going to start with 8. So we're missing some Fluix dust, right? So what we can do is we can just grab some more, throw it in there. Time of the bottle wise, we're looking at 28 hours in the world. That's pretty slow, ain't it? What's a better way for that? Fluix seeds, yeah. Oh, we could do the inscriber way. That'd be a lot quicker because we got the thingy. Alright, well, while that does that, what we could do is we can say, what did I do? Provider. We can do 7 because we got 1 over there, right? Let's start that. Alright, we got all 7, just like that. Now what we want is we want some molecular assemblers, right? So the molecular assembler arrives. Each pattern provider that we have, ideally we want 4 pattern providers per, right? So if we have 8 total, it means we need 32. 33 with 1 on the end. We've already got 4. So that'd be what, 29? Okay, we're missing a few things. We're missing some more fluix dust, and we're missing some Certus quartz dust, okay? So let's go ahead and make some Certus quartz dust. That's not a big deal at all. And then we can get some more fluix dust going. Okay, you're kind of annoying, so we're gonna put it over here. Okay, now we're crafting a bunch of molecular assemblers. You can kind of like see these work. See? And then this one's off to the races too. Look at that. Ain't that cool how it comes together like that? Alright, so while that is going, we're going to go up here. We're going to check on our battery. Battery is holding steady. No, as long as it's holding steady, I don't mind it whatsoever. There it is. Got all 29. Alright, let's get to rolling here. No longer need your services, which means we can block that back off. Okay. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take all 8 of these. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what we're going to do is we're going to go on each of these, and we're going to go boom, and bam. That's what we're going to do right off the bat. And the reason why I did all of that is because look at all of that space for activities. So now what we can do is we can literally just throw these in there. We're going to go straight down a line. And then when we run out of room, we can move them back up. Righty now. Let's go ahead and throw some acceleration cards in those. Actually, you know, because they're down there, and there's so many of them, we don't have enough acceleration cards to even come close to any of that. So we're not going to worry about it. What we will do is we will start working on all of this stuff. So let's go ahead and make that, which we have the mirror set. All of this is cool stuff. We're going to make the thing for here with substitutions enabled. And in order to make this, we actually have a tree, or what is it? Wood. We have wood essence, which means we can make logs. Where's oak? Oak. Oak. There it is. We do that. We can turn off substitutions because we don't need it anymore. And now we have everything for the Mark 1. The Mark 1 itself only generates 8 FE a tick, so we're not going to be fooling around with it very often at all. Unless we have like a million of them. For the second one, we have this, which means we'll need a recipe for a piston. Easy peasy. Actually, let's go ahead and redo that. We're going to put this back in here. Right? How do we do that? Okay, like that. And then we'll do substitutions enabled for this, just in case if there's different kinds of wood. And then we'll put that, rewrite it back. Substitutions, yes. Okay, beautiful. So turn that back off. That gives us that, and then we can do this for tier 2. Tier 2 only makes 64 FE a tick, which isn't bad. Tier 3, now we get some cool beans, cool stuff, right? So block of iron, let's go ahead and do that. For the regular block of iron, we ain't gotta worry about it no more. Repeater, we're gonna do this with substitution enabled because of the stone, which means we also need a pattern for the torches. Cool beans. Now, obviously, with the redstone stuff, we're going to do that. No, we're not, because it's already being made in the thingy. And that should be the redstone repeater done. Now we need the full voltaic sails, whatever. We're going to do that. We're going to keep substitutions enabled because of the glass. And now we've got that. Which means we can now create the Tier 3s. Tier 3s on their own generate 256 FE a tick, which is almost on par with our windmills. Now, we got a few more things. We got a full photovoltaic sail 2 and a clock. Clock is super simple. And now the photovoltaic sails 2. The clay balls can be made like so. We're going to make a pattern. And then the lapis is pretty much just fine. So then we can create that, which means we can create that. These generate 1000 FE a tick, which you get 2 per, which is nice. Now we're going to go to tier 5. Tier 5, we're going to need a few things. First thing we're going to do is the photovoltaic sail 2. Or this should be the 3. Yeah, that's the 3. Then we're going to do some glowstone. And then we're going to do some block of gold. We're going to keep substitutions on the whole time. Why not? And then we'll do that one. So that one's cool. We got the 5, which generates 4000 FE a tick. Next one up, we got this one, which means we're going to need the voltaic sail 4, which is blocks of quartz. Let's wait for the regular old block of quartz, which is right about there. We're going to do that. And then we will need the blazing material here, which is that. Easy peasy. And now we can craft that. Cool beans. After that, let's get the redstone lamp going. Let's get a block of diamond going. And now we can create this one. This one generates 16,000 FE a tick. Yeah. So that is the solar panel 6. Alright, let's throw these in here while I have the sanity to do so. And we'll just go top to bottom, throw everything in here. These are absolutely not in order, but it is what it is. Alrighty, continue on. Now we got the 7. The 7 takes Dragon's Breath, which I have. I actually fought the dragon. Yep, you didn't see me do that, but I don't think you see me do it anyway. I meant to record it, but I didn't. So it is what it is, though. Unfortunate, but it's okay. Hopefully you guys can forgive me. We're going to need the photovoltaic sail 5, which is a few different things here. We have the block of quartz. That is done. We've got these 2 done. Now we need some emerald glass, which is pretty simple. And then we can make the photovoltaic sail. And now we can get the tier 7, which generates 65,000 RF per tick. Cool beans. This one generates 262,000, which is kind of insane. We do need some of that stuff. Do I have dragon chunks by chance? No, because I'm fairly sure the dragon chunks are from the seed. Yep. How do you make the seed? Like that. And we ain't doing that anytime soon. Which means I gotta go kill a few dragons for that. But it's okay. What we can do is we can just go ahead and snag it anyway. We're gonna go ahead and get the photovoltaic cell 6 going here. We've got that, we've got that. We do need a pattern for the emerald block. And now we need a pattern for the ender glass. The ender glass is going to be emerald glass with all that fun stuff. Now it doesn't know how to craft an eye of ender, so now it does. And now we have that. Cool beans, cool stuff, right? Yeah, we all having fun here. Okay, now that we have that, we can craft this. Cool beans. Now what we can do is we can figure out how to teach it all of this. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to teach it a draconic core, which is like so. And once we're done with the draconic core, we can teach it how to make a wyvern core. After the wyvern core, we're going to teach it how to do all of this, which means we need to teach it how to make a redstone block. And then lemon greasy. Beautiful. Each one of these generates 512 FE per tick, which is ice cream. Love it. Alright, we're going to shove all of this in here, and we are fully set up for a wyvern tier solar panel. Now, because we have so little stuff here, it's most definitely not going to let us craft it, because for one, we don't have the means to do so. For two, it needs 52,000 bytes. Now there's a few things I'm missing here. The first thing is we're missing some crimson planks, which means we're going to need to go through here and look for our planks recipe, which is right here. We're going to find whichever one says crimson planks, and we're going to grab it because it probably doesn't have any kind of thing on it. We're just going to watch where it says substitutions right there. Okay, so let's put this back in there, and we're going to enable and then reconfigure, and then we'll throw it back in there. And then now we'll try it, and that is all we're missing, which really isn't bad. It isn't bad at all. So we have to make 9,000 glass, we have to make 2,000 logs, 2,000 iron, 1,100 redstone, 900 that. Yeah, it's not bad. I gotta go kill the dragon 2 more times, but the biggest thing would be the crafting storage, which means we will need a 64K crafting storage, which it looks like that. Now for the co-processing units, it wouldn't hurt to get a few more. How many slots do we have open? We have enough open. Let's get a few more patterns. Let's get 40 more. We're missing Certus Quartz Dust. So let's get a few of that. Let's get 30 of them. Why not? You can see they are crafting. Beautiful. Thank you for the 30. We're going to throw it into there. No, we're not. We're going to throw it into there. Get rid of that. Okay, here we go. Let's get a 64K, which means we need a 16K, which means we need a 4K, which means we need a 1K. 1K looks just like this. What we're going to do is, bam, enable substitutions, because this can be charged as well. Doesn't matter. So we got the 1K. Now we're going to need a 4K. Now we're going to need a 16K. And finally, the 64K. After the 64K, we're going to go ahead and want to automate crafting this fella, which means we'll need that as well. Like so. And then like so. And now we're fully set up. Let's go ahead and see if we can put one through there as well. Might as well get the 64K crafting storage in here too. And now we're set up like ice cream. Ready. Let's get a 64K. Crafting storage. And no crafting CPUs are available. That's interesting. Which means you're probably being used somewhere, right? No? Okay. Interesting. Why? Ah, it's because we're over our limit there. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do, can we do a 4K? We can do a 4K. I'll show you what we're going to do with a 4K in just a second. Let's go ahead and get a co-processing unit along as well. We'll take that. What we can do with this is we can make a thingy. What was it called? A crafting storage, right? This guy. There we go. Let's combine these two. Beautiful. We got a 4K crafting storage along with another crafting co-processing unit. The thing about this, it is a multi-block. So now we got some cool stuff, right? Now, let's see if we can make a 64K. Yes, we can. Let's see how long it takes. Alright, so let's watch this. You guys are going good, going good. We actually don't have to make a whole ton. Well, we might actually. Let's go upstairs. Check our battery. Battery's doing just fine. Where am I going? I'm going right here. It's just really fun to watch this thing go. Yeah, fun stuff. Right now, we've got 2 co-processing units, and then we've got a 1K and a 4K, which is doing us just fine. And there it is. Let's go ahead and get another co-processing unit. You imagine all that crafting I'd have to do with all of that? It's insane. Alright, same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to put this on the bottom and that on top. I got it backwards. Doesn't matter what orientation you go, as long as you have them, then you're fine. Okay, now what we can do is we can look up our solar panel. Now we're missing ingredients. We have enough bytes, and so we're just missing the ingredients here. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Automation is going in. Cool stuff. A majority of it is glass and some logs and all of that fun stuff. Next, the main reason why I want one of these is because we're getting into the area to where we're going to start setting up quarries, and we're going to be getting a lot of automation going along, right? So how many slots do I got left? I got a few. So what I can do is I can do a 64K. Crafting storage, which means we'll need a cell, which means we need a item cell housing, right? Yeah. So let's get an item cell housing going. Okie doke. Let's get an ME drive. Is there an extended ME drive? Yes, there is. What do you need? Capacity card? What's up with that? Let's see here. It can hold 20 storage cells. Ooh. Okay. Let's make one of them then. This means we need to get that auto-crafted. And now we need this capacity card crafted, like so. Well, does the acceleration... Here, let's look. Card. Advanced card. Okay, yeah, so we do need the basic one. Okay. Basic card, and then I got the capacity card, and then let's get the extended fella here. Nice, cool stuff. How many blocks have you ran through already? Quite a bit. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get into a little bit of power. That way we can get some quarries. That way we can really start getting some really good resources coming in. And it should be really fine and dandy to do. So yeah, now all we really have to do is, instead of making the wyvern, right? Instead of making the wyvern, let's see if we can make the tier 8, the one that does 262k. See, these are better, right? Okay, let's do some. I don't know, what is it? It's essence. Let's just craft a bunch. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was making sure. So the minewood log itself, right? Let's look here. Minewood log itself, from one minewood log. Let's change this up a little bit. So if I got rid of that, how many would we have to get? Still 2,600, right? Oak log. Yeah, okay. So let's redo this one. Let's do oak to plank. Let me do that. Substitutions enabled. Yep. Okay. Now solar, and we're done. Yeah. Okay. So it's weird. I don't know why it was doing that. Anyway, we're missing some lapis. Missing quite a bit of lapis. Still missing a lot of iron. Not much I can do there. Besides, do a giant Seevathon. But anywho, that's what we'll be working on next time. We're going to be working on a set of these, which, if I'm right, means we get 2 of them per craft, which means we can generate 1 million FE per tick, which is going to be insane for our power needs for the foreseeable future. Well, for now at least. So, appreciate you guys for watching along with me, and see you guys. Let me get a good screenshot of this. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.